Guys, I gotta tell you, if I haven't talked about this before, single leg deadlifts is probably like, if you only learn one deadlift, it is probably the most important deadlift that you can learn and maintain for the rest of your life. So right now I'm gonna play just a tiny bit of a Mind Pump episode from, let's see, June 19th, 2024. I'll just play the beginning part, but if you guys want to watch the whole thing, go like this far ahead, 23 minutes in, where they start talking about
David Yearman.
Yeah, of course. Gotta add. Gotta love that. All right. Oh, two ads.
Which foundation?
I'll talk more in just a second, but listen to this first part. I might play it
I'm going on a hop.
on.
Tremendously beneficial exercise. You're still hip hinging. The weight is going to be much lighter because you're only on one leg. But man, you want to talk about stability and balance in the hips. You want to talk about QL, strength and stability, because you're balancing on one leg. Mm-hmm. The stability of the pelvis and that twist and torque while you're doing this exercise, like all of that, all the counter rotation and counter, kind of stabilization.
It's so revealing how immediately you want to rotate or like execute rotate. And to go through that with like a really slow tempo and be very controlled with mechanics you're applying, that translates so well once you have both feet on the ground. And now we have those mechanics that are nice and stabilized and perfected.
So there's so many muscles in the hip complex. And when we talk about people that have low back injuries, and we have talk about people that have weakness going on, it's always like weakness, right? When we talk about mobility issues, it's always there's a weakness in it.
So they go on and talk about it, and I think it's Adam there, the one on the screen right now, who talks about like it's one of the most, like if you don't learn anything else, or the one thing that you can maintain as far as a deadlift variation, it would be this one. And guys, I've been experimenting with this on and off in the last, probably since I watched this video last year. Man, I think I said in the comments, it's kind of changed my life. I'm not going to find it right now, but you feel so good. You know how you do a heavy deadlift and I don't know if it's like testosterone that's an increase that you get or whatever, but you just have so much energy and you feel great even for the next day. And I feel great today. I didn't get much sleep last night, but I feel great. I did a bunch last night. Now, what I do, I think it's one time a week. I can't remember for sure, but I'm kind of doing my own variation of MAPS aesthetic, and the middle foundational workout is, I think deadlift, but I think I changed it to single leg deadlift because I see the value in it. And I'm going heavier. It's the first phase, so you go heavier, and it's 5 sets of up to 5 reps. I think it's like 2 to 5 or 3 to 5 or something like that, but I use 2 75-pound dumbbells, and I work myself up there. For most people, it sounds like that this is a hard move because there's lots of stabilizing muscles that you need to strengthen, foot strength, ankle strength, things that we don't usually work out very often, and your balance as well. But this is a perfect way to work all those things. And you might think you might not need it, but as you age, you're gonna want to know the skill more and more. But for that testosterone boost, man, I just feel great the next day every time I do this workout. Like I don't know, I feel really tight down there, my legs, and it's just great. I know what I just said could be taken out of context. Especially with my job, because I'm on my feet all day and lifting packages and stuff and kind of bending and squatting and stuff like that. It feels great. But yeah, you might be able to start this exercise if you're not great at it. And that's the thing too to point out. If you're not good at an exercise, doing something that you're not good at, go on the kick for a while of doing an exercise you're not great at. It's life-changing. It really is. You'll bust through some plateaus for sure. Yeah, pick something you don't like to do, or maybe you suck at an exercise. Make sure you're doing it safely, of course, but try to get good at it and just watch what it does. But single leg deadlift, oh man, it's my favorite. Probably one of my most favorite exercises, period. Definitely my favorite deadlift variation. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. All right, I think I remember what I was getting on, but yeah, you're going to start out for your first time probably using a lot lighter weight. Like you might be able to deadlift, hundreds of pounds, 300, 400, whatever. And kind of like Adam, he said he had to go down to like 30 pounds. He talks about that if you listen to this whole thing here. Down to 30 pounds to start off with. I don't know what his rep range or whatever set range and all that stuff was, but it might be humbling. You might have to grab the colored weights, the very light women's weights or whatever, which is fine. You might just practice doing a toe touch. They talk about that here too, and that's fine. There's a variation where you can just like put one leg back and you're not really totally balancing on one leg as you learn how to do this. And sometimes even when I'm doing the single leg, I'll kind of tap the leg I'm not using, I'll just kind of tap it on the ground just to kind of restabilize myself if I'm losing my balance. But yeah, it works all your stabilizers. That's really good as well. Do not neglect that. I try to go down a little bit, like they show a clip here of a guy performing it. I go down a little bit further. It's also a really good like lower back workout I have found, like for me anyway. A glute workout for me. I mean, sometimes people perform different exercises and they don't really feel it in a certain area. So this is just from my experience, but it really works my glutes and my lower back. So yeah, this is just such a perfect exercise, guys. You got to do it. But yeah, I have worked my way up to 75-pound dumbbells. Now Adam, he talks about, starting from 30, going up to 100. Yeah, I was able to go to 75 relatively quick. I don't know how normal that is, but I only have 75-pound dumbbells for the heaviest dumbbell that I have. And I think that's plenty good for right now, until I get better. Maybe at some point I'll invest in some heavier dumbbells, but the heavier you go, for your own home gym, it gets pretty pricey. So I don't know, we'll see. Of course, I can just kind of slow down the tempo or whatever, do more reps, stuff like that. But yeah, I feel great every time I do this exercise, and I think you will too. So at some point I'll perform it. I'll show you guys how I do it. I should have done it last night when I was doing the workout. I should have somebody to film me while I do it, and then I can talk about it. And yeah, guys, tell me what you think. Should I play the rest of this clip, or should I just put it down below? I'll put it down below, and you guys can check it out at your own leisure. But yeah, I want to say more. I think I got more to say, but I can't think of anything at the moment.